Hi, this is Somi. Today I want to tell my story about how important the awareness of your surrounding is. I'm from South Korea and I'm studying biology and senior at the Ohio State University. I took a biology class in my junior year and I learned about how small insects can change our lives badly. I realized when a mosquito infected by a virus bites a human, the person also could be infected by the same virus and even could die. It was really interesting because when I was in South Korea, I never heard about mosquito can kill people since the types of mosquito carrying dangerous viruses are not common in my country. So learning about your surroundings is so important, such as what kind of animals or insects live in what kind of climate or environment. So the Citrus Aware program is really helpful to you, which could make you learn about your environment, such as climate change and the effects on your community. So now I want to talk about what climate changes are happening in South Korea. At first, I want to introduce Yellowstone, which is caused during springtime from March to May because of the geographic reason of Korea. Korea is right next to China, so Korea is influenced by the wind coming from the desert area in China. Since 2000, global warming caused by human activities such as deforestation and making tons of trash makes the desertification worse in the desert area of China and Mongolia. So every year during springtime, the number of people who have asthma or cardiovascular disease are increasing. In addition, the ultrafine dust makes the outside activities harder with Yellowstone. Ultrafine dust is composed of pollutants from the smoke of factories or cars. This also causes respiratory or cardiovascular disease, but it happens all season since factories and cars are running all the time. So this is a big issue these days. Next, I want to talk about typhoon. If you live in Korea, you will see the news about typhoon every summertime. Do you remember the typhoon Mami in 2003? I remember I was so scared at the time. I was holding my mom and dad's hands tightly at that night. And after the Mami typhoon was gone, I saw so many windows of apartments were broken and many trees fried away. There was water everywhere and fire occurred in some places because the public utilities for electricity couldn't handle with the strong wind. It was one of the most powerful typhoons. The highest wind was 120 miles per hour and it caused 4.8 billion damages. As the temperature of the earth increases, the power of a typhoon also increases, since a typhoon is made from heat energy from the ocean. So we need to look at the climate change to prevent disasters. To minimize damages, it is important to know what is the best way to be safe when disaster happens. The cases of Yellowstone and typhoon are predictable, so you can see news about warning on TV or you will get text from the government. So people can prepare themselves before Yellowstone or typhoon. On the other hand, earthquake is hard to predict. In this case, it is important how to deal with it after the disaster happens. On September 12, 2016, earthquake hit Gyeongju, which is one of cities in South Korea with 4.5 magnitude. Even though there was no damages or injuries, this trend was strongest since in 1978. People are still talking about how bad the government did after earthquake happened, since they got the warning text 10 to 15 minutes late and they could figure out the specific information of the earthquake on TV 96 minutes late. This shows the government need to strengthen disaster management system of how fast they can give information to people and provide them with the best solution of safety. So, when disaster happen, who is the most affected by climate change? According to IPCC, which is an organization reviewing and assessing the most recent scientific research and technical information, it says climate change daily impacts on human health by making worse. People who live in weak health protection system are easily affected. Especially poor children who live in the country are the most affected by climate changes, such as malaria, undernutrition, and diarrhea, which are diseases related to climate changes. On the other hand, people who live in developed countries are less affected by climate changes than people who live in developing countries, since they have a better health protection system. Mostly the impacts of climate changes are negative, but there are some positive effects. For example, some population in temperature climate may be less affected by extreme cold and benefit from greater agricultural production, at least for moderate degrees of climate change. When we look at how climate changes can impact on our health, we need to pay attention to the Lancet reports, which is one of general medical journals. In June 2015, they reported the impacts of climate changes on health and necessary policy response to ensure attainable standard of health for worldwide population. They emphasized the importance of social transformation. Since even though the threats are great and time is short, systemized social structures against a disaster can reduce the negative impacts and make the cities resilient. Eventually, the social transformation will lead green global economy, reductions in social inequalities, the end of poverty, and the decrease of the pandemic disease. Therefore, focusing on science resources such as IPCC and the Lancet report, we need to prevent health impacts from climate changes. So, it is important to pay attention to our surroundings, since it can affect our community badly and directly affect our health. This is the reason we need Citrus program, and I'm sure if we start to care about what's happening around us, we can make better life. Thank you.